there's these faction of the Make America Great Again faction group movement. I look at it as a movement, and I look at it as a rebellion and a movement in a positive way to bring back American values. What made us strong, independent, great, what made us the #1 country, and basically everything. The racial diversity here is amazing, absolutely amazing. There's a little bit of conflict, but I just think that we need some type of culture to rally around, and we've lost it. And Hollywood doesn't do nothing for us, and video games are stagnant, music's stagnant, all entertainment is pretty much stagnant. And you look at like football or all that, it's just these guys are overpaid, especially in basketball. People are making like $60 million a year and they don't even want to play. It's like it's pretty pathetic. So yeah, they're communist, right? Which goes directly against America First. Like, you can't, if you want communism, the only way that communism could possibly succeed, but it goes against human nature. So when you feel like a cog in the wheel at a corporation, like you really don't matter, like you don't have no purpose, like there's no meaning for you to be there, and doesn't, like, you could be dead and they'll replace you, like it's just brutal. Well, like imagine that like 100 times worse, but from the government, and they control everything and they own everything, and you can't pick what you want to do for the rest of your life. They tell you what you get to do for the rest of your life when it comes to a job. In some places they might tell you can only have one kid, or you might be forced, because it's highly authoritarian, so they might force you to have kids with, and they might tell you who to who you can and can't have a relationship with. So it's very authoritarian, and that's scary. It's always failed, but you would have to have everyone on board. Like every single country has everyone that would have to start off from zero, but no one, like, we won't start off from zero because some people own property, but it would be like, seriously, no one would own property. Those people that are in these lavish mansions, they don't own it. They won't be able to own it. So like all their boats and all their possessions, it could be buildings, your house, like you don't own it. And essentially that's how it pretty much is here in America with property taxes. We really don't own your house or your car. When I lived in Missouri, they had property taxes on your vehicles. So it's like the more vehicles you have, the more property taxes you got to pay. And I think they did the same with motorcycles and probably ATVs. And it's like, dude, that's pretty bad. I did not like that at all, because I'm completely against property taxes, and it's such a pain in the ass. Like the property taxes there, you gotta go here, you gotta go there. It's just like, I just don't want to deal with this shit, man. So a highly red state, it's crazy that they have property taxes, but they have a lot of people. They have a huge prison system too, so There's a lot of people that go in and out of jail and prison there, so yeah, it's a weird state. Not really. I mean, it can be pretty looking, but with the rolling hills, but there's not much to do, and like there is poisonous stuff there, and you do have to watch out for rattlesnakes and stuff like that. And I think there could be like hogs in South Missouri, but anyway, so like the communists, you'd have to start everyone off from zero, and these people that are trying to push it, they don't want to start off from zero. They have a ton of wealth. These people that are doing like climate change, like John Kerry, like, you think that they're going to give up their wealth? No, they want you to give up your wealth and you to be under control of them. What they want to do is well, so what they want, obviously they want to be able to shut your money off so you can't do nothing. Well, they can do that right now. They can shut your bank off right now. They could just debank you. They did it with the trucker protest. Like they debanked those people. They froze their money. They couldn't move their money at all. And if you go try to withdraw your money from the bank, they won't let you. And it is your money. Sorry if there's like a little bit more of an accent. I'm a chameleon, and just who I'm around. That's why I'm like, I really like to limit who's in my life, because people influence heavily, and I start mimicking them, and I don't like to mimic people or like take their ideas. I don't know. So it's just yeah. This is kind of like a hip-hop-ish type of culture here, where I live in Michigan. So I just, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so like communism has never worked. Like all this stuff, well, I guess you can't really find it on YouTube probably, but yeah, it's just that's why like it doesn't scare me when they say like, oh, there's a currency that's going to, if you don't spend it, you'll lose it. And I think that's kind of a good idea. You know, like when you're so wealthy and you make it so like your great grandkids are taken care of, and when they look at like after the third generation in wealth, like these people have major problems because they can't connect with anybody. They've never been around regular people or dealt with any type of struggle in their life. That's why I think it's so hard for these people to like connect with people, you know, these highly rich people. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, you know, like there's some evil people who own our dollar, the US dollar, and it's so weird that, you know, people who I support are so gung-ho about cash. You know, if the cash was like a US currency, you know, it wasn't owned by private banks. If it was like, okay, we're the government, we're going to issue our own currency. This is, the Federal Reserve is obviously corrupt. And we can't have this entity. We don't need one way of transacting time, transacting wealth, transacting cash. We need like multiple different types, you know, and you should be able to convert things very easily. Like crypto. everything's pretty much digital anyway. Like when you go swipe your credit card or plug it in, and or like maybe if you have an app or some shit, whatever, and that's how you pay. But like, okay, so Bitcoin is definitely not something I think that is a good, unless they do, like, I'm not a crypto expert, man. I'm definitely not a crypto expert. If they did some type of something that doesn't like take so much money, so like when you flip into the other cryptos, or send it from one wallet to another, they take some of your Bitcoin, man, and sometimes it can be pretty pricey. So like, I don't think transferring Bitcoin is like, I don't think it's just something that you just like, you hold on to. And I like the concept of being able to borrow against it. Because it is an asset, it is a finite asset. It's getting more and more finite. And I think they said it's getting more expensive to transact it. So nobody wants to sell it. So when someone actually comes on the market, if there's whatever's on the market that's out there, the price goes up because there's a lot less of it. Well, it's gonna keep doing that. But I think it's good to be diversified in your portfolio. That's what I think. Okay, so like kids, okay, listen, young kids out there that are, okay, over 18, you're just starting your life. This is what I tell you, especially men, like men, 18-year-old men. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Listen, you have to build up. If you come from nothing, if you're in a bad situation, like it's an unsafe area, your first thing is to get out of that area and go somewhere so it's more safe. So if you have, it's hard, man. It's hard to make it out here. But I mean, people have. So like, you could. I've never done it, but like, you could technically just go to one of these. Just go be homeless in one of these blue areas and go work, and then go to the gym. You know, it's a good climate. You don't have to worry about. It's just whatever. Just be homeless for a little while, and then just go to work. And then, like I said, take a shower at the gym or whatever. But it's unsafe. That's an unsafe situation with all the drugs out there. But you could save a lot of money real quick by doing that, I think, because they pay more out there, and since you're not paying for any type of residence, because it's highly expensive out there, then yeah. So yes, if I was bigger, I would edit my videos. By the way, that's why I don't even put up really thumbnails. So I apologize for the ums and I can't get to the point. People who are listening to whatever I'm saying. But yeah, it's like the kids. If you want to get like a couple physical items, you know, you're still living with your parents or whatever. If you want to get a couple physical items to invest in, like a hobby you like or something like that, whatever. Like Funko Pops or I don't know, vintage video games, whatever, vintage toys, whatever you're into collecting. Well, you don't just like invest all your money into that collection. You can get a couple, right? But you have to have somewhere to put this stuff, man. So if you get a huge collection and then you have nowhere to put it because like you have to be able to pay like your rent and stuff. So you got, or whatever, you buy a house or whatever. What are you gonna do with this? So you gotta think about storage. So it's, you know, it's good to start thinking about it, but don't go like really far into it. You know what I mean? Like, like it's something that you acquire every now and then. You pick one up here, you pick one up there with a little bit of extra cash. But you should be saving your money, building up a nest egg, emergency fund. You should be building up your credit. So, you know, putting like a down payment on a credit card, and then like them, you know, just monitoring your credit card use, making sure you pay your bill, spending habits, stuff like that. They say that like you pay your bills on time, basically, then you'll start getting credit. You start building up credit, and as long, you know, you stay out of debt as best as you can. I mean, stuff happens, man. And trying to stay in the positive. It's hard to stay out of debt, though. It really is. I've acquired a lot more debt than my debt's really not that bad compared to the average, and I can pay back a lot of it at this point. But yeah, it's like just work hard. Like I would say is work hard. If you're a boy, man, go to the gym. Practice talking to women. Talk to older women, because usually women around your age probably ain't gonna give you the time of day because they're talking to older men who have money, and that's where our society's at. It's all it's all like about money. You know, for me, I'm old, okay, and I've had my experiences. I'm not gonna ever be able to have a family. I don't want another family. And I'm not really enthused or care about acquiring a lot of things I'm responsible for. But a lot of you like material things, and it is something for you to strive for, to be independent, which I am all about. I'm all about independence. So yeah, just like work hard, and don't get anybody pregnant. Don't go to jail. Don't be getting into drinking or drugs. Stay away from that stuff. And limit the people who are toxic in your life. Because the people that are around you can influence you, and influence you in a negative way, and put bad situations in front of you that you just don't want to deal with. Possibly they might be like an okay person, but they bring somebody around that's, you know, you really don't want around, you don't trust. It's kind of like, man, sometimes you just got to limit your circle. And it sucks, but hey, you can't have any anchors. You'll have enough of them in the future. But yeah, just build everything up. Females right now are so they're attainable, but it's hard when you're young, when you don't have money. If you have money, you're good, man. You're golden. You got money. Maybe you had good parents that raised you well. You came from a good place. But that's rare, man. There's a lot of people who have mental problems here in America because of the environment that they were raised in. They were raised in such a harsh, toxic environment, and then that just affects them for the rest of their lives. And they have all these kind of problems they got to deal with, emotional baggage. So yeah, it's hard, especially right now. The youth is like really hard for them to make it, and it's probably like that because they want people to join the military, honestly. And if I was to join the military, I would go to the Air Force. I don't see a point of the Army anymore. I don't see a point of us being on the ground anywhere. It takes too much resources to ship everything, and then once you have everything there, we just left $80 billion of technology, of American equipment, and the Taliban. We just left it there, pretty much gave it to them. And then we spent over $100 billion to Ukraine to fund our war against Russia. Yeah, I said it. America, like, that's so stupid. We're at war with Russia. When you're funding somebody to fight them, you're at war with them. So stupid. Vladimir Putin has been very patient with the U.S. Very patient. The FBI better get their shit straight, though, man. You better get your fucking shit straight. You know, I'm an American citizen, and most people who support Trump are just law-abiding citizens, and we have family, and we work, and we pay our taxes, and we do the right thing. And you think that we're going to, because of January 6th, dude? Like, if that was an insurrection, the MAGA people, all those people, first off, there would have been way more people than that. And they would have been armed to the teeth. They would have been all armed to the teeth. So, for you people to say it was an insurrection, when you had your police officers waving people in, obviously it was a fucking setup or a massive miscommunication. And those officers should be reprimanded severely for fucking up that bad. Waving people in? Like, who told him to wave people in? It's utterly ridiculous. But yeah, like, MAGA are peaceful people. Like, we are, like, most of us who support Trump are anti-fucking war. That's number one. We're fucking anti-war, and we're pro-America first. And for me, I don't care if America's number one. I don't think that any country needs to be number one in this whole world. I think that the top countries need to work together to have peace and prosperity for fucking everybody. Waste so much money on fucking death and war and everything like that. But there's extremists, man, and that's the problem. So you have to have defense. You can't just be like defenseless. So you have to be able to, like, protect yourself, and like taking our guns is not being able to protect ourselves. You're just taking the guns. Like, if you're trying, like, you liberals want to take our guns, all you're doing is taking guns from people who are good law-abiding citizens who would never hurt anybody with those, and only have those in self-defense or to hunt or some shit. So the bad people are still gonna have guns. There's, you know, there is a black market. Like, you can get guns. I've never tried because I don't break the law, but there's people that do it. I mean, there's a drug. There's drugs out there, right? Like, so, yeah, it's just, communism is just a fucking, it's a failed system that's inhumane. Who the, like, imagine working for your company, like I said, who don't give a shit about you, who you've been working for years, and they don't give a shit about you that you work 28 years there or 30 years. They don't care. Here's a little trinket, whatever. Like, whatever. That's, but imagine that's the government. Like, you're doing your job just to make the government, whatever the government says. There's an oligarchy in that system too, man. So, like, okay, capitalism works best like this. Look at John Madden, okay? Look at the video game John Madden. The innovation in John Madden is absolutely terrible. There's games, I mean, the graphics are good compared to before, you know, like older games, obviously. But the features that are in this game, because all they care about is getting money from people, starting over every single year, your character or your my team, every single year you have to start over. So you put real money in it, that don't matter. You don't get anything back from it. It's a joke, but that's what they care about, and there's a lot of people that play that, and they're NPCs, I think. But it's just because all their friends play the updated version. That's what it is. But like, the innovation is terrible, and they don't have to innovate because they have a monopoly. When monopolies are absolutely horrible, and our government is supposed to be breaking up the monopolies. Like, Google needs to be broken up, YouTube needs to be sold off, and like Facebook, that one needs to be broken up. Like, these companies, Elon Musk, I mean, I don't think he has a whole corporation like a parent company, but if he had a parent company, like, these parent companies need to be broken up, man, because capitalism works best when you have a lot of competition, a lot of, the smaller the better, honestly. Like, the smaller the business, the better, because it could be more mobile, and it doesn't take a lot to start and stop. And but when you have a huge company with all this money put into it, to pivot, it's a lot harder. So that's why it's good to instead of having these huge companies to rely on, we need a lot of smaller companies for competition. So if Madden had people to compete with, I guarantee you, like, there would be no better version than Madden. I guarantee you that. But they don't care. Like, they don't care, you know. So, and they don't have to care. People will keep giving them the money, and if people could either stop playing the game or play last year's version, which after 2 years, I think they shut down the servers for all of them. But so you have to keep buying the new upgraded version. So you're gonna need to do that, or just stop playing the game. A lot of people like to play the game. A lot of people buy it every year, and you know, as long as people keep doing that, they're like, they don't have to be financially responsible for what happens. It's crazy. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, but I think this video is good enough, and y'all take it easy.